Do I feel more comfortable resting when I'm tired now that I'm not drinking caffeine? Now that I've changed my life? Has my mood changed? Am I less anxious, restless, or wired? Do I feel like I'm missing out when other people drink coffee? Is my concentration better or worse without caffeine? You're back for another experiment. I quit caffeine about 90 days ago, and I'm here to tell you what it's really like to be without caffeine for that long. And you're really getting a full picture here because I am a little bit sick right now. I still am not drinking coffee though, so this is a little microcosm for what it's really like. Some days are harder than others. Anyway, in this video I'm going to tell you about what the daily experience is like, and I'm going to answer some frequently asked questions about the experience of being caffeine free. If you haven't seen my video about my experience quitting caffeine, I'll put a link right up there. You see it? There it is. And let's get into it.
New beginnings on the cusp. Not too old to adjust. Old dog, new tricks.
The first week of quitting caffeine was very, 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 very hard. It's just like any withdrawal experience, whether that be from a substance or a person or anything that you're very attached to and dependent upon. It was physically tough. I have, over the last 90 days, recovered my energy significantly, but I've also had days where I did not feel my best, where I'd wake up in the morning and I was really tired, but I never reached for a cup of coffee, or haven't reached for a cup of coffee to compensate, because I know that the side effects are just not worth it. I don't like how I feel when I have to come off of caffeine. It also makes me more tired in the long run. The long and short of it is that being off of caffeine has been like an experience of rebuilding my relationship with my own body and my own body's actual signals. As a result of quitting caffeine, I have had to pay very close attention to what maximizes my energy naturally and act on those things. So I've been learning about what the best sleep cycle for me is, what the best eating windows are for me, how often I should exercise, how often I should rest. There is no pushing through anything. There's no compensating. There's no playing along. It's my life and my lifestyle has needed to change according to my capability to rise to the occasion. Of course, I've done my, as I always want to, and I'm sure you are too, that's why you're watching this video, my best to make sure that I have as much energy as possible to show up as my best self every day in whatever I'm doing, because that's when I feel the most accomplished and my best. But every day we're not 100%, and that's that. So 90 days off of caffeine has been sort of a reintroduction to being a human, to be a little bit hyperbolic and funny, but also real.
Old dog, new tricks. Remember, I was just a pup, something dirty in my cup.
If we're looking at this in a scientific way, the caffeine removal is not the only variable that's changed in the last 90 days. I also have been living on a tropical island for 2/3 of that amount of time. So, other variables have been contributing to my energy. So the first thing that's changed a lot is that I nap a lot now. For context, I'm 38 years old. If you're younger or older, whatever circumstances you're in, you may not need to nap as much as I do. I don't know that it has as much to do with age so much as it has to do with the climate here. I never used to be a napper when I was living in New York City. I used to hate napping. I would think that, oh my God, I would wake up and feel like I lost an hour of my day or something like that. Leave a note in the comments if you're also someone who fears wasting time by napping. I think that's the same mindset that had me addicted to caffeine in the first place. This kind of hyper productive, squeeze every last ounce of capacity out of oneself as possible mode of thinking, and I'm not in that anymore. So I think the fact that my mindset around endless activity has changed and the climate that I live in has changed have both contributed to that adjustment. So I do nap more. It's so hot here, and July was the hottest month on record, so imagine it's already hot here anyway, and then it was the hottest of all hot times. It's exhausting in a good way. I have no regrets, but it's definitely something that my body has had to get used to, and my energy has fluctuated accordingly. So I have not had caffeine to compensate for that. In fact, I think that if I had caffeine, it would dehydrate me, especially because of the heat, which would make me more tired. And that was something that I also experienced when I was drinking coffee, where it would make me dehydrated, and then I would get tired from the dehydration, and then what a vicious cycle. Anyway, so I just take naps and I drink water, okay? And period. If you don't like it, too bad.
I was stuck inside a rut. Played the game, made bank, moved G, anything to get a buck.
I don't need a lot of sleep. Perfect time to yawn. Okay, all right, fine. I'll tell the truth. I've had to pay very close attention to my sleep. And to be quite frank with you, it was the same thing when I was having coffee. I would try to compensate from a lack of sleep by drinking more caffeine, but it never really amounted to the same performance as that I'm able to provide when I'm well rested. So I've had to take more naps, and I've had to respect my sleep cycle. You should always respect your sleep cycle, no matter what, period.
You won't find me in the club. I'm in the lab trying to sharpen up the sword.
Morning rituals. So I know that part of what makes quitting caffeine a little bit tricky or feel hard, in addition to just like the physical dependency, is that expectation of the morning ritual. And you get up and there's the smell, and there's the process of making the coffee, and holding the warm cup in your hand, or cold, whatever, however you drink it. And so that alone, that habit alone, can be a hard one to break. And that it was for me in the beginning, but I haven't had any desire, or I haven't missed it at all since I quit. And I think, again, part of the reason for that is because I'm in a new environment, and I don't have my familiar visual environmental triggers that remind me of that morning routine. So it's kind of like I arrived here, and my morning routine never consisted of coffee, and so I never have a desire to drink it. So I have not craved coffee. When I go to coffee shops, I also do not crave coffee. I love coffee shops. So it's kind of remarkable, you guys, because I can go to a coffee shop and get a caffeine-free beverage. I can't lie, though. I do go to the coffee shop sometimes, and there's an inner dialogue. There's a negotiation happening. It's like, oh, get a matcha. Don't get a coffee, get a matcha. But I haven't done it. There was a moment shortly, I would still call it a part of my caffeine quitting journey. It was a previous time when I tried quitting caffeine, and it didn't last very long. I think it was maybe, I was about 5 days in, and I went to the coffee shop, and I negotiated with myself, and I fooled myself, and I got a matcha, and the matcha did not go over well. I think I was really thirsty, and I got like super jittery. Yeah, it didn't end up being worth it. I don't know. In my experience, I've quit a lot of things, and sometimes you have to this is tricky. Okay, I'm not like, if you have a substance use thing going on, take the advice that applies. But in less detrimental things, sometimes you have to go back to it to realize that you don't want it. Whenever I'm at a coffee shop and I hear that little voice coming back up again, like, get a matcha. And nothing against matcha, by the way. I think matcha is very good. I like it. I just remember that time that I quit caffeine, and then I got a matcha, and then I didn't feel good. And so I don't need to do it.
Live your life while you can. Our days are all numbered. Rain could cause thunder.
So that's kind of a little winged explanation of my experience. Now I'm going to answer some of your questions. Do I feel more comfortable resting when I'm tired now that I'm not drinking caffeine, now that I've changed my life? It's tricky to say, guys, because again, my entire lifestyle is different now. I think I'm in the middle of a little bit of a rebirth here, and caffeine is a small portion of that. And so I quit my job, and I moved away, and all this stuff. So do I feel more comfortable resting when I'm tired? Yes. Is there still a voice in my head that's like, you're not allowed to do this? Yeah, I do still have a voice in my head that goes, hurry up. Make it fast. But the difference now is that I know that when I'm tired, sleep is what my body needs. And I know that giving my body what it needs, the return on that investment will be extremely high. So it's like having a relationship with a best friend. They need something, and it's like, you give me so much. How could I possibly deny you anything, even if it's an inconvenience? That's kind of how it feels now. It's not that my inner hustler or whatever has completely gone away. It's still there, but it's not steering the ship, so to speak. Has my mood changed? Yeah, definitely. I'm way more patient now. I think this was something I mentioned in the quitting caffeine video, but one of the side effects for me was majorly increased irritability and impatience. I still get annoyed. Don't get me wrong. I think it's kind of part of my character. I'm a little bit like, come on, hurry up. But it's not this ever persistent, present ache that nothing is happening fast enough for me. I have like a better equilibrium throughout the day. Do I feel more aware of my body's actual energy signals? Yes. Was quitting caffeine worth it? 10,000%. I would 1 million times do it again. I would quit caffeine again. Am I less anxious, restless, or wired? Yes. Is my concentration better or worse without caffeine? It's interesting. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's scientifically proven that caffeine does not assist with focus. I think it does, actually, but I can't verify that at the time of this recording. I have not noticed any. I actually think I might focus better without caffeine. And it's not anything that I've been consciously aware of. I think that I just associated drinking coffee with time to do work. And so it's not necessarily that the caffeine or the coffee was making me focus better. It's that it was associated with a trigger in my brain that it was time to focus better. So it wasn't really about the caffeine so much as it was about the signal that coffee was giving me. I maintain other practices that signal to my brain that it's time to focus. So I just listen to music when it's time to lock in, and I only listen to that music when it's time to lock in. I have a video on habits. This is one of the tips that I use, or I have certain things that are assigned only to certain activities, and it kind of helps me lock into that activity. And one of the things that I use is music to help guide my brain into, we're doing this now. And when I play it, without fail, so quitting caffeine has not been any deterrent on my focus whatsoever. No. Your brain's a dog. You just have to train it properly. Do I feel like I'm missing out when other people drink coffee? No. Everyone I live with drinks coffee, and I like the smell of it still. And I see them making it in the little greca, the little stovetop mocha pot or whatever, in the morning. And fond memories, sure, because that's how I made it as well. But no, I don't miss it. And like I said, I go to coffee shops and I just get like an iced tea, and it's fine. So yeah. So the take-home message is that I'm alive. I can still focus. I can still operate just fine. I don't need it. I don't miss it. I don't want it. I wouldn't do it again. If you gave it to me again, I would quit it again. I have nothing against it. I love the taste of it. I like putting coconut milk in it, and I like frothing it, and I like getting the froth on my lips like a mustache, and I just like putting cinnamon on top, and I think it's great, and I don't want it. If you want to learn more about how I quit caffeine, then I encourage you to watch this video next. And until the next video, keep experimenting.
Starting
Bye.
up a new chapter.
Isn't it lovely? I ain't looking back and focus on what's in front of me. Everybody dates a number, but I'm still here luckily. I know that God got me, so I'm in good company. Yeah.